This is the February North Garden. Let's go take a look. First up, we got our onions. This is the Texas yellow onions. Looking pretty good. The red onions looking a little bit worse. Not quite as happy. Cover crop for the peppers is starting to green up a bit and really gain some density to it, which is nice. Cover crop here, again, really big. Setting peas, setting heads on the various grasses. Garlic's not terribly happy. It's coming along. It really wants a wetter year than we're getting here. As you can see, they're kind of behind and a bit yellow. Tomatoes they're productive, but starting to get that late blight you can see there because it's started to rain the last couple weeks. You can see here on these too, a little bit of that late blight. So we'll see how many I can actually eat. Start to get a yield hit when it starts raining. It's usually November. This time it's like halfway through January. Weird. On the other side, the clementine's doing really well as the Sant Orange. Or not Sant Orange, Palladino. Looking really good. Lots of them around here. But the other one isn't as good. So here are some of the Sant Oranges. Pretty much all of them split after the rain, the heavy rain, like over half an inch. And they've just got like mold down the crack because it's so humid. So that's something to note. They don't do well in the humid time. Mostly in the heat they love. Right, we got our cover crop here for the tomatoes in the shade, but it's looking pretty green, much greener than the other one. And we can see some of the favas and peas coming up. So nice to see. Favas are super reliable for me. They grow all winter, no problem. So made sure to scatter a couple of those, as well as a little amaranth. Seems to always do well. So coming along. Next up we got our peas, which are just crazy, really. I'm gonna take them individually, but big thing to note here is the ones planted back in the shade have not done very much. It's very little. And then once you cross over here, it's massive. So don't do ones in the back and ones in the front. Just keep them all in the front and then plant other things in the back. Kind of like the cilantro here. Cilantro's doing super good. It's looking really good. And I just put it on the corners. So it's been pretty happy there. This is the Sugar Daddy. It's now 5 feet. It's supposed to be only 30, so I don't know why it's different for me, but that's what I'm getting. You can see the pods are now loaded. This thing has so many pods on it. Just incredible. So a little later than the Cascadia. However, they're stringless. So you break them open, there aren't even any strings. So when these are completely full, completely round, there's no strings. So definitely using this variety from now on. This is the Cascadia. I think it's at 8 feet now. Honestly, it's way too big for me. I'll definitely go with the other one, even due to size. But the biggest factor, they taste not quite as good as the Sugar Daddy. And then if you look at here, when I break them apart, you get that big string. And honestly, there's a lot more. If you eat them this big or bigger, you get a mouthful of string. The other one, when it looks like a fully pod pea, you get nothing. So Sugar Daddy is the winner. Cascadia lost out on this one. And then we have our last bit here. We have the Egyptian walking onions, which are doing great. Cilantro. We have the fennel. Then we have our lettuce that are continuing to look good. That one died. Something's up with that spot. Nothing does well there. And then we have our Brussels sprouts, which are looking really good. Still waiting for the Brussels. Got little tiny things. And then here we have little cilantro. We have our Tiara cabbage. So right there and there, they're looking really good. This one's starting to head up, but still really nice. Usually a cabbage takes up this entire space. But this Tiara cabbage is really tight. So I'm excited to see how it tastes. I hear other YouTubers using it, so getting a little bigger. And then our hilarious gold beet is coming back from the dead a bit. Hopefully that works out. We'll see. So, and then because of the rain, these are kind of, tripods are getting wet for the beans, so they look really ugly. I probably won't harvest too many of them until it's really dry again. You can see some of them is split open on the ground here. If you look closer, these beans are have absorbed a ton of water. That one's even broken open. It's starting to sprout. So you can see that bean versus, those are the same bean. The right one's dry. The left one has absorbed the rainwater. So, yep, that's what I got. The rain's doing a lot of things to my garden right now. Hope you've enjoyed and learned something. Have any comments, drop them below.